Okay, I'm Gloria R. I'm a compulsive gambler.
My name is Robert. My story is about addiction to gambling.
My name is Eric. I'm an alcoholic, drug addict, compulsive gambler.
My name is Tom. I did most of my gambling at an earlier age. I'm a recovering gambler. I'm also a recovering alcoholic.
I'd say I started around 10 or 11 with my friends. I had been doing little stuff with my family before that.
I started gambling at the age of 20. When we lived in Miami, my brother took me to Hialeah.
I discovered gambling little by little. First it was socially, sometimes with my fiancée, who is now my wife. We lived in the Miami area at the time. We went to the boats, to the casinos once in a while.
I remember I got a TV set when I was 12 years old for Christmas, and by the time I had gone back to school, I had already lost it in a bet to my friend within a week or two.
I think when I started gambling was when I came out of the Marine Corps and when I was probably around 23, 24 years of age, and then I started gambling with a friend of mine that stayed back and were in school.
Well, at first I thought it was fun. Oh, this is nice. But then Hialeah became my second home. And I would work at the phone company, and I couldn't wait to finish a split shift so I could run at Hialeah.
Once I graduated high school, or finished high school, through a treatment center, they helped me finish. But once I turned 18, I was able to go to dog tracks and to horse tracks and to the casino, and I pretty much would bet on anything and everything.
I was working for a company in a fairly nice position, high up in human resources, for a healthcare company, and I travel around the state. And I had in my hands a lot of time.
Things came easy with me when it came to sales. I was on straight commission. I had a lot of time on my hands. I wasn't accountable for myself except bringing sales in on Friday. So I started getting into gambling more.
I started going to a community college in my area a little after I got out of high school, about a semester late, and I couldn't seem to finish a class. With my alcohol and drug use and gambling the way it was, I never quite made it.
Drinking was always a problem with me prior to that, but the gambling was like a periodic thing for a while. I can't say I did them both the same. I probably drank more than I gambled up to that point.
They overlapped in my story a lot, drinking, drugging, and gambling, and I went from one to the other and back, and most of the time all three at once.
I think a lot of it is because, I never got up one morning and said to myself, geez, I'm going to go out and drink and take some drugs today to have a good day, But I've got up a lot of mornings going through all that debt and thinking, I might have a good day today. I should take a shot at it. Maybe I can get back out of debt. Maybe I can pay those bookies off. So it's always in your mind subconsciously. You always think someday, somehow, you're going to make that bet and get back,
With a drink or a drug, I know what's going to happen. I know the consequences. I'm going to get high. I'm going to steal from somebody. I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to hurt everybody around me. And that's it. With the insanity of the first bet, I might win. I might make everything all right. I might be able to set my kids up for school, and everything all in one day. And that's the insanity of it for a compulsive gambler, is the dream world that I'm going to win. And with drugs and alcohol, you can't do that. But with gambling, you can win your drug.
In 2004, we lost our home to the hurricanes. And I got a guy from my country that was supposed to fix my home. And he took off with $28,000. So that put me down. And I figured, well, I'll gamble and I'll win it back. I will. I'll get that money back and I'll surprise my husband. I'll surprise my son.
I used up our 401k. I used up our savings. I run up credit cards to the max. During this period, I never thought I had a problem.
I have to say, when I went to the track and started gambling at the track, I would have a couple of shooters, I call them, a couple shots before I would drink. before I would gamble, because it gave me courage. It gave me courage to make the bets, to make more bets. And then by the time I got out of there, I was many times I got out of that track drunk and don't even remember what was going on, and tried to drive my car home on a turnpike for an hour and a half to get home, and it was becoming a real problem, and naturally the marriage was starting to suffer, and I wasn't around for the kids, but I seemed to always bring the money in, so I justified my behavior.
I gave my son $1,000. I said, here, honey, go play. He says, Mom, you think I'm sick like you? This is in my pocket. He says, I worked too hard for this. And he didn't bet $1. And that really, that night I said I should stop playing, because for a 21-year-old to tell you that, boy, that hurt me. It made me proud that he didn't gamble, but it hurt me that he said that, but it didn't stop me.
Christmas was approaching, and the normal, festivities that we would have, buying presents and the happiness associated with that and all that, I couldn't give that. I couldn't bring any news to my wife or anybody else that, in fact, we had a horrible situation in our hands. We were all there, her parents, myself, and my wife, and I borrow and I gamble and I did whatever I could to buy some presents and do whatever, but I was pretty miserable. And I made a decision that this was the last time this was going to happen. I made a decision that I was going to do something very dramatic to finally bring all the money that I needed.